Um, okay, how your brain works. Basically, you don't think in words, you think in chemical experiences. And you have an experience that your body has to make a chemical for that, peptides and proteins. And once the right recipe, the right ingredients to experience, both a feeling, you put a thought, words, text, or you put text to the thought. So basically, what's happening in that process is every time you have a thought, you're changing your DNA. Because the thought, and when that spark goes off in your head, what's happening is this new thought that's coming into your head that comes in all the time. Every time you do that, every time you have a thought, a spark goes off. And that spark is like a photocopy of all your old thoughts with this new thought. So, and then right away it goes into every cell of your body, and that's your DNA. So, your DNA is just information that's held in every cell. So, every cell holds information of every thought you have had, and all your parents had, and before them, and you before them. So, that's why we can have the same behaviors as our fathers and grandfathers, our mothers and fathers, all the way down to when it began, because we're having the experience of something, but we don't have the text to go with that. We have the chemical experiences of it. And those chemical experience of all of those memories, all of those thoughts, control. Well, every time somebody does, comes to hit you, block them, or it could be an instinct there. This is how we evolve. Is whatever problem we've had, we develop an addiction to the solution. Here comes the problem, block. Here comes the problem, block. A lot of times when you are dealing in a war situation, life and death, you're going to survive, you develop rules instantly while you're scared, while you're in fear. So you're developing these chemical experiences and developing these business rules for your life while you're really, really upset, in a war situation or any event that's happened in your life. Now, when you come out of that, you're going to replay that experience over and over again like a tape recorder, because it's just spinning pieces of information, and everything you perceive in your world is going to be based on these new rules that you've developed. So lots of times, like breaking the habit, like there's abuse, and breaking that habit of abuse. The reason I'm focused in this is my grandfathers were both abusive, my father was abusive, I married an abusive man, have 4 children. No way in hell do I want to see my children have that same pattern. And um, part is lack of communication, a lack of information flowing, misunderstandings. Um, the feeling of not love will, destroy your own life. And that's a lesson I'd like to teach my own kids is if you want to create the best life for yourself, then always feel love at all times for as many people as possible. Find the good in everybody. Um, and then you create a better life for yourself. And I know a lot of people are justified with a lot of bad things, but if you can understand that all of us don't know what we're doing, and all of us are repeating patterns that are tape recorded, hard drive in us to do. It comes from your DNA. Um, what my husband did, he did exactly the same thing from his father. My father was exactly like his grandfather's. And even though they always grow up saying, I'm not going to be like my father, I'm not going to be like my parents, I'm going to improve. Change. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't give up those rules that are programmed into your DNA, then when you create a solution, it might look different, but it's coming from the same source. So you really have to get at the source of when is it you're doing something wrong. That's kind of the unknown problem. the unknown problem, and that we can come up with a tool that solves every problem known to the human experience. But if you don't recognize the problem, that tool ain't no good. So your problems that you deal with all the time are the things that you can complain about. Anything you complain about or make excuses of, when you see somebody else doing something to you, and remember, I'm in an experience of an abuse. Um, my entire life has been full of abuse. So my research was, how do you stop abuse? Because there's no way in hell my kids are going to relive this. So at the same time, I'm able to see how to make really good things happen. But at the same time, I'm questioning, why is this bad shit happening all the time? So while I can prove how to make good things happen, um, it appeared to me like I had to know how to get rid of bad experiences. And so it was the experience of both of them happening and seeing how it can be repeated. I mean, you can experience, every one of us on this planet knows how to make a bad experience happen. Um, but knowing what causes them is a little harder to see. So that's the unknown problem. As soon as you're making an excuse or a complaint about somebody, chances are you participated in it. So while I'm on this side of abuse, there's definitely something within me that I perpetuate, even though I'm loving and caring, and I don't think I did a damn thing wrong. Um, I know I'm perceived as being wrong, and I've done an awful lot of work trying to always move for through intention. I truly believe I did the very best that I could do, and I had an awful lot of information that I'm working on. So I don't think anybody could have made any different decisions than what I made. I'm proud of what I did. But because it was still continuing, I still had to, soldier on to try and find the bigger solution. And part of it is all sides need to know this information. All sides need to know what communication looks like. Otherwise, it's a problem that I'm not solving. So, one way or another, I have to find a way to communicate with my problem, and in order for my problem to go away. Um, I don't have to talk to my problem directly or indirectly. Basically, I have to live my purpose. Obviously, all of this information was given to me. I really feel passionate about sharing it with everybody, and my problem wants me to be the solution. So, I experienced everything. I went at it from the perspective that I did. Now that I know what I did, I think I can help give you information to maybe prevent it a lot sooner than I did. I was basing a lot of information on what, I trusted people. I trusted in a justice system. I trusted, um, and I'm telling you, if you can trust yourself through these justice systems, you'll walk a different walk. Um, you won't have to live through the same thing I lived. I really have kind of looked at, well, if your life is that bad, what have you got to offer? How do you know what's right? If all you did appears to be so wrong. And I'm saying that all of these hard times, all of these experiences have given me the opportunity to question what happened, what was the cause, and how do I get the hell out of here? And I think this is much better information than education. I don't think you're going to go into any university and take any course and come out with the kind of information I have and be willing to prove that it works, and just by example. So, yeah, your DNA is controlling you, and you need to control your DNA. And that's when we make this massive transformation. And don't feel like you got to do anything for anybody else. This is all about doing something for you, and if you're doing it right, you will be in love and everybody will benefit from it. You cannot judge other people, and other people, if they judge you, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. Be your own dream. Live in your own world, and you will create something. You'll create your dreams. So it's like time to make a wish. What is it you would really, really love doing? In a magical world, what is it you would love to do? And I'll teach you how to reprogram yourself. And just by suggestion, you can watch me do it because this is what I'm going to do. Ciao.